All right, what's up, everybody? Today we have one of my most favorite guests here, Ian McKee. So I'll let you kind of explain, what you're doing here and what's your purpose and who you're helping.
Sure. Well, Jake, thanks for having me on. I appreciate you a lot, a lot. And a little bit about me. So I'm Ian McKee as I broadcast from my home here in the days of COVID. And I'm 26 years old. I've had a lot of life experience from living in Orlando, Florida, working for Disney World, to living in Memphis, visiting about 30 different universities throughout the United States. And now I have the honor of being a mortgage lender with Bank of England Mortgage. So working with people directly and getting them set up in residential homes. So that's one, two, three, 4 units. So getting folks, families set up with that single family home and investment properties for folks as well as they look for cash flow. So it's been a great gig and grateful to connect with you, Jake. Let's go.
All right. So I don't know the level of filter we'll have. We'll just kind of let it flow here.
Sure.
Um, but anyways, yeah, no, great story. So the reason why I'm still, talking with Ian here is because when I met him, this dude was like, oh, he's on it. He's got the frequencies of somebody that you want to be around, and that's kind of what stood out and why we still talk. And I remember it was like my birthday we were gonna connect. Yeah, I think that was the first time we were gonna connect, and I was like, man, this guy wants to meet me on my birthday. That's like, I usually reserve that or for whatever's going on. But I was like, damn, this guy, I like it. And you were persistent. And because of that, here we are. You're on our podcast. This is gonna be great.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Well,
something,
I had to buy you breakfast, man. Buy you a little birthday
yeah,
breakfast.
that was my first time in the that fitness center too. It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the other thing that blew my mind is when we were there, you just knew everybody and everyone loved you. It seemed like okay, I like how he does this.
Yeah,
Uh,
thank you.
yeah, and then one of the other things too is probably the whole reason why I'm even making this video right now is because you have kind of taken that over, with like your Instagram and stuff like
Um,
that. And I think the message that you also put out there is really important for people. It's like, like kind of wake up, dude. Like this life is good. Just make it, what you want. Like I've seen you post a lot of positive things. I'm kind of curious. What are some of the things that you've been kind of learning, I guess maybe recently, like just whatever's going on in life? What are you taking away that you want to share?
biggest thing I've learned about myself in this past year, I guess, if you will, under COVID, during all these things, is my energy and like being aware of when I'm like in a super powerful state and I'm going out into the marketplace, having conversations, influencing people in the right way. Um, I've just been studying my energy, and that comes down to the food I'm eating, the media that I'm consuming. I don't
Yeah.
watch a lot. I don't watch a lot of TV. I actually don't have it. I have a TV in my house, but it's only connected to my computer for Netflix videos. I don't have cable or anything like that.
Hmm.
Uh, and when I talk about what I consume, a big part of it is those books. I don't know if you could see them over there, but I have a book
Yeah, it's
collection
facts.
of about 100 books. And the more I read, the better my internal conversation is. Well, you have two wolves in your psyche, in your spirit. One is the good wolf, one's the bad wolf, and the one that is going to serve you is the one that you ultimately feed. The one that's going to be the most prevalent is the one that you feed the most. So if you're taking care of your thoughts through books, through working out, through all these things that I talked about, you're going to be nurturing that good wolf. And so it's our human nature to be self-critical, and that self-critical voice, if you will, has been, you either got that from your teachers or your parents or whoever it is. And along the way, I developed this really strong internal dialogue. So at any moment, I mean, I still have these thoughts today. I mean, when I wake up in the morning at 5:15 in the morning, I'm like, oh, I'm going to go to the gym. The good wolf is like, hey, go get up, make it happen. And the bad wolf is like, oh no, stay comfortable. You deserve this bed. You need to stay here. So, I mean, I still have those battles every day, but it's just, which wolf are you talking to? Because there's one of the wolves is obviously going to give you way better results in your life. So a lot of people in this world are pretty confused. They don't know where they're going. And I had a lot of those experiences, but I learned if I just double down on working out, if I double down on eating right, and if I double down on self-knowledge and seeking knowledge from other people, I'm going to figure it out along the way. And so it's with each book, each rep, I find myself having better energy.
What are you building all this for? What are you trying to, what's at the end of this?
I want to be a leader of people, my family, my community, all these things. But in order to do that, I need to be a leader of myself. And in being a leader of myself, a big thing that I'm very passionate about is financial education. That's why I love real estate so much, is because it provides cash flow, which folks, you could retire off of it. If I have, my plan is to have, 10, 15 properties by the age of 35. And I can quote unquote retire because the cash flow will outweigh my monthly expenses. So my monthly cash flow will be higher. And so I could technically retire if I wanted to. I don't think I ever will. Because I see my mentor, Chuck Miller, he could have retired years ago, but it's through the mentorship, it's through growing a brand. I mean, these are things that people are passionate about. So,
right.
I want to enable people. I'm so passionate about enabling people through financial education, because I was so confused for so long, having school tell me to do this, do that, do this. And when I discovered financial education, a lot of this world started to make a lot more sense.
It's like totally different. What's like the number one financial literacy or like rule that you live by in your life?
So it's, I would say everyone should read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, because it's amazing how folks don't understand that difference. I love it. I love it. Yeah. I love it. So I would say read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And the biggest thing is to understand the difference between an asset and a liability.
It's my favorite book.
Well, so yeah, you have to be strategic when you're buying to flip. I mean, you're right. In order to get anything in life, you have to risk versus reward. There are levels to it. And so you have to buy very intelligently and understand the market, understand your budget, and understand your exit strategy. And if you have a good exit strategy, you're going to be successful with the fix and flips. In terms of buying a house and holding it for cash flow, I mean, take the duplex that I'm living in right now. This guy bought this duplex for $150,000 in 2012, and his mortgage payment, I bet it's only like, I asked him what his rate is. It's like a 2.8. I think it was a 2.75 rate, and his mortgage payment is definitely under $1,000. He's probably paying, $800, $900 on his mortgage payment, if that. And he's got two people paying rents, and the property has appreciated by 60, 70,000 in these last couple of years. So that's a great investment. And each property has its own report card, if you will. Some properties are going to be great for certain strategies and others for other strategies.
Very good. Yeah, dude.
Let's go.
Let's go. That's right. We're just easing into this,
As a business and as an LLC, which is a great way to reduce your liability. And then you could also set it up as, if you want a single individual on the loan, you would contribute to the single individual by way of gift funds, which is totally appropriate.
Venmo. I'm just kidding. Oh boy, no one's filtering this. You know what I mean? We're putting stuff in the archives here. We're growing together. So
absolutely, yeah. So I mean, I've got a couple people in mind. Absolutely, I would say Elijah Walters. I would say Elijah.
Oh yeah,
Walters.
yeah, for sure. I've seen you repost some of his stuff. I really like that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, him and I, or as thick as thieves. He's a 23-year-old entrepreneur. He runs OFW Kenosha, and he comes from a great family history. So he's an entrepreneur. He's been thinking different since day one. Even when he was in high school, he was racing motocross professionally. He was getting tutored. So he definitely has had a different path. He would bring on some interesting perspective. Yeah. What's your definition of greatness, Jake?
My definition of greatness is being able to influence and be happy with yourself, and making sure that everyone is at that level with you. So I think it's just about changing people's lives, really, I guess. What do you think?
And then I'll answer the question after you answer this one. All right. Let's say that it was your last day on earth. This is years down the road. You're like 70, 80 years old, whatever. You lived a beautiful life. You've done everything you wanted to do. And everybody in the whole world had these little AirPods in. And you get to say 3 things that you know to be true about life, about the
you're
world,
killing it.
Your truth. What would your 3 truths be? Let's go.
You're killing it. God is real. The peace is always within. We're here to love, really, and then anything else after that is something just that's because we want more, to be grateful. Like, we don't need any of this stuff around us. Like, life, if it wasn't society that made us think that all this stuff was important, then the true focus would be on love. God, peace is always within, and nobody can steal it. And I guess the last one I gotta say, you gotta choose your reality, and love is the answer. Love is the answer, I guess.
Love is the answer, baby. Love is the answer.
It's true.
Great.
I mean, like it may go wrong in that situation if you choose a loving option, but like, how are you going to be mad about it? You know what I mean? That's what matters. So that's what I think.
And that goes off of the pieces within thing too. They work hand in hand.
Yeah. What are your 3? Yeah, see,
right,
dude,
so
you got to do a podcast, man.
Yeah, I think I do. So I'll answer the 2 questions: the greatness question, and then the 3 truths.
Yep.
In terms of my definition of greatness, I think greatness is getting 1% better every day. I think you can't make a jump over a period of time without taking little steps to get there. So I think greatness is having the discipline to get 1% every day, 1% better every day, whether that's in your health, whether that's in your business, or whether that's in your relationships. If you're growing, you experience a lot of joy there. So I would say greatness is never stop getting better 1% every day.
Yeah, I like that one. Seriously, you got to have that focus, and that's what leads to so many new things. And like, there's always like new doors and opportunities, but if you're not like trying to better yourself, you're probably not gonna find those or even be able to ready to be taking them. So
yeah, I love it. Tony Robbins says you're either growing or dying. So every day you get to make that choice. And I'm not saying I have great days every day either, but I remember
I do.
Right?
A lot of them are good, but you always got those days where you got to reset a little bit,
Yeah. But then I think of Michael Jordan, and he's missed, hundreds of shots, if not thousands during his career, last shots in games. But he never had 2 bad games in a row. He would never have 2 bad days in a row. So if I have a bad day, I always have the mindset, tomorrow's going to be a great day.
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right.
Yeah, let's
so my
3.
All right. So my 3 truths. I would say God is real as well. I love that. There's a higher power. I like to have an ongoing conversation with God. And
that's like the inner dialogue I was kind of thinking. Yeah.
Well, that God is beyond you. There's a dialogue in your head, which is like your discipline.
True. Yeah, those are totally separate. You're right. But there's like, what I kind of mean though? Like you can kind of have your conversations with the higher being, with yourself too. So.
Yeah. I mean, you could even break it up like this and say, here's faith on one side, here's fear on the other side. God is faith, the devil is fear.
Mm-hmm.
There are a couple ways I think about that.
Makes sense.
My
All right, continue.
my second is take care of your body. Your body is the energetic vessel for how you move throughout your day, move throughout the world. I mean, and in relationships too. I mean, you want to be fit, right? You attract what you are, and you have better energy when you take care of your body through working out and eating good foods and staying well hydrated. I would say the third is read, because people have lived years, these decades of people's lives, and they take the time to put it into a book. And you can take decades of a person's life and put it into days, read it in a number of days, and then you could use that in the back of your mind as you're going out and experiencing new things. So I would say reading, you're taking the time to self-educate and learning about different topics and learning about people's lives, because that gives you so much more perspective. So I would say God is real. Your health is one of the most important things, if not the most important. And read, because through reading, you strengthen that conversation within.
There you go, man. Killing
Let's go!
All right, dude.
I ain't working hard enough.
All right. We got to end it on that, man. We'll get back in touch. We'll figure out something.
All right, I'll see you, pal. Have a good day. Namaste.
God bless.